Hello everyone, I'm Shiv Mathur. The video is on a topic which is called professional life and happiness or inner peace. So I thought this is also a very interesting topic to talk because a lot of people who work and it's very important to understand what do we look forward to in a profession apart from just earning money, but what is that which is the core of anything we do in our life. So I thought I'll talk about my own experiences and my ideology which I followed and what I achieved during my 32 years of work. So I would say that my ideology was that focus on your work, focus on your objectives. That's definitely important, and be really focused on your work and your intention. And that's one part. Then the second part is to be focused on the work to achieve the objectives. What else is also needed? So if you have a team and if you are a leader, you have a team of 20 people or 10 people or 100 people or 200 people or 500 people, or even just 2 or 3, or even if you are in a team, you're with your peers. So how do you deal with different situations? What do you do to ensure that the objective is achieved? And objective can be achieved, but along with the achievement of the objective, what are the other factors which are also very important? What kind of environment you are creating? What is your contribution towards creating an environment? How are you dealing with your juniors, your subordinates, your team members? How do they feel, and are they growing professionally? Are they going? So how do you inspire as a leader? How do you motivate them? How do you groom them? How do you guide them? What all do you do as a leader of a team and profession and ultimately you you have to achieve the objective also, and that too with kind of perfection, with whatever is expected out of you, quality and quantity both. So I believe that the core of ideology is that whatever you do, it should give you happiness. Whatever you do, you have to learn from it, and whatever you do should be making the end user happy. End user means whatever you're doing is targeted towards something. The objective is, if you're in a service industry, you are providing service, so you have a customer. So, and if you're a product company, if you're into products, then also you're creating products so whoever uses a products or services should be happy. And the company's objective is, that is one of the core objective of the company, that whatever they provide, whatever business they are into, whatever their offerings, whether it's service or product, should be meeting the expectation of the customers for what it has been designed. So the end objective is that your customers should be happy. So you are one of the key member in the entire chain life cycle of the company's product, from conception to use. Now you have a team, and how does a team achieve success and meet the objectives? So as a leader, the most important thing which I told is that one should derive knowledge and happiness from what you do. One should be totally focused in what you're doing. You should not be engaged in political things. The main objective is that I'm learning. It's very important. I'm learning, and I am deriving happiness because I am giving my best to the task. I'm totally focused. I'm living in the present moment. I'm not thinking about what will be the outcome. I have an intention, I have an objective, but I am not thinking about the outcome. Will my boss will be happy? Will so and so will be happy? So I'm not doing it to please a person as an individual in the hierarchy. They'll be happy. They should be happy if I do give a good, if the outcome is good, and it's me. I'm meeting the objectives, and I'm successfully delivering services and products through my team. That should be the only reason for them to be happy. Apart from some other, like if apart from the main primary objective, I'm also creating a good environment, but not being political. I'm not bootlicking. My primary focus is not to make my boss happy, whether the objective is met or not met. But this is what generally happens. And most of the bosses they prefer someone, their subordinate, to be like a yes sir, that whatever they say you cannot disagree or object to it. So they want to be pleased. Basically they want bootlicking, they want this this kind of relationship they want, that you should be always pleasing them, and you should always be saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. So yeah, with your boss you always say yes, but you may disagree also, and you should be also advising your bosses, managers. So that's a different aspect. So I was very clear that I am not here to bootlick, okay, in one word. And I also wanted to meet the objective, and I knew that I have to get it done through my team. And a lot of managers, they basically are very harsh, they're very tough with the team, they're unreasonable with the team, they don't motivate them, they are actually unkind. And generally, if you see the environment is not good, a majority of the people working in the corporate companies or even in government organizations, they are mostly unhappy. And now I don't say that it's only the manager to be blamed, but manager is also to be blamed. But I am only talking about why the manager is the reason for their unhappiness. There may be many other reasons for which they are also responsible, the individual, but I am talking about the reasons for which the manager is responsible. Because the way the manager is dealing, he doesn't guide them, he doesn't lead them, he doesn't give solution, he doesn't come and help them, he's not caring, and he's always unkind towards his team, and he doesn't even give credit, he takes away the credit. So there are very toxic mostly the managers are very toxic, and so there is a general unhappiness in the companies. Most companies, I would say, now the culture is pretty bad, and the boss wants to be they see how much time people give to the stay in the office, especially in India. I would say the culture is like that, at what time you come. So they are not seeing how the guy is performing, but they are only watching what time you come, what time you go. So those kind of managers are there. If I look at MNC looks at targets. They don't really look into these trivial issues, stupid issues. They are much more matured MNCs, but still there are many challenges. So I won't say that they have perfect leaders. They have good managers. We have bad managers, but they don't have leaders. Are something which are missing. Every manager is a leader. So if he's not a leader, he's just a manager. He's basically a manipulator or a politician there. So my second part was that I have to ensure that I get my objectives met through my team, and I really cared about my team. I was tough with some people who were political. So when I came and joined some new company or some new role, I had a new team, and obviously there were some black sheeps, and they were like those are politicians who will not work but do politics, and somehow they managed to please the bosses there, and they survived and flourished actually. And this kind of situation led to demoralizing of good employees who were there. So that's a it's not just one problem, it's a multiple problem that they are even flourishing, and they are also demoralizing the good performers. and genuine people. I've seen that in almost every company. And when I came, I changed that. When I go on the ground and I meet people, I travel, and I pick up black sheeps, and then I'm very tough with them, and I really, very very hard with them, very blunt, and I ensure that they are dealt very firmly. So in there is initially they're very shocked, that because they're not used to this kind of, they never expected this any boss can do to them, because they've been like living in a fool's paradise that they can bootlick and get their way. So I actually groomed. I spent a lot of time in grooming, training, and if I identified some good performers, so I further groomed them. I encouraged them, and I was like a friend to my team, very friendly, and I ensured that they are always happy. They don't feel that I'm a boss. They look up to me with inspiration, because when there is a task, I review the task, I monitor the task. I see without them coming to know that are they getting stuck, do they need help. So I'm very proactive. I was very proactive in reaching out to them and seeing where are they getting stuck. I guided them, gave them solutions, because most of the managers, they just say you can't do it, okay, get lost, go somewhere else. They don't give solutions, they don't guide them, they don't get together and try to solve it. And so I always did that. So the team felt very integrated and very well supported from top to bottom, and I ensured that no one is trying to pull anyone down. There's no politics, there's no bootlicking. I hated bootlicking, and when I came across some bootlickers, and I told them very clearly, no bootlicking here. If you do bootlicking, get out. So I was the other way around. So there was a genuine environment. There was an environment of trust and love, and the environment of hard work, sincerity, freedom. I gave a lot of freedom. Like I made it very clear. There were some guys who initially were, trying to get away from the tasks and the duties, and I will catch them, and they got caught. Every time they got caught, and they got beaten up, and they realized they cannot escape, and then they started delivering, they started working. They were under my close watch. But then later on they realized that when they are delivering and I'm telling them, you have the freedom, you can deliver, you can work from anywhere, time is yours, space is yours, you work in your own space and time. I'm not questioning you, I'm only looking at targets. So ultimately my team used to understand that I am only interested in target, and I want they are given all the freedom, they have all the freedom, they have their own kingdom, they're the king of their area, and I'm not as a boss. It's only we have to together deliver it. So they understood that he only means delivering the objectives. And then it didn't end over there. Like I used to meet them, go and meet them, travel. If my team was spread over different geography, so I'll travel all over the country, different states, and meet my team and see who's struggling, who needs help. Went them, met them, broke the ice, and break the bread together, and you break the ice, and you talk like a friend, and then that bonding is developed. So I believe that the bonding is very much needed. We work virtually because teams are all over the country. I mean, there are different locations. Sometimes you have international teams, but it's very important to bond and meet them. Meeting face to face is very, very important. Without that, the bonding really doesn't come. So these were few of the things. So ultimately, when I see a happy team, when I see the output is coming, and then a stage comes where the whole system becomes so well oiled that it runs automatically. And then people realize that we don't have to sham it, we don't have to shirk our work. we have we can do our work in just 2 hours, and we have the entire day free. We don't have to show, we don't have to sit a whole day and go late from the office, reach home very late. We can go even early if you want. So I gave a lot of freedom, and then they realized this, if you really work sincerely, if you very focused in your work can be done. You become efficient, you become highly productive, and you are also giving high quality output and efficient. So you're getting more time. So when the machine becomes well oiled and runs perfectly, people have a lot of freedom, and there is a lot of happiness. So this was quite a surprise from the generally the run of mill culture which the companies have. And this whole thing, when I oiled the engine so well and it ran automatically after some time, even I remember my last appointment in Jio. I just reach in the morning, by 9 to 11 I'll finish all my work, and I had nothing to do. So I'll call my team member one by one, let's go for tea. So in fact, entire day I was just walking around the campus, catching somebody for a cup of tea. So after 2-3 years, you streamlined everything, and it happened in every organization wherever I worked. After fixing all these issues, tweaking all the systems, processes, improving the processes, automating, then things became, I realized that there's nothing left to do. And of late, like my last jobs, in 6 months, 8 months, I turned around the entire, there was so many problems. It was like, I cannot even describe what kind of problems were there, but I took those as a challenge and I delivered it. And then we created a wonderful team. I threw away the rogues, because if they were not turning around, then you have no choice, you have to throw them out, because somewhere you're delivering direct services. Some companies you're not directly delivering, you're in the middle layer or somewhere, but somewhere you are directly dealing with a customer. Like if I was in charge of a hospital, so daily we have 50-60 patients, and you have to face them, and if there is a challenge. Now that clinic is running pretty much automatically, and the team is very good, so they keep remembering me. So thing is, you get happiness out of it. You feel very happy, because when you see happy faces around you, when you see your team is very happy, when you see that your team is inspired by you, motivated, and now they're feeling good, they've been groomed, they feel they're professionally grown, they have learned, because I went out of my way to ensure that they are groomed well, they are learned, they are happy. It was not that I'm giving them sweets to see them smiling, but I did everything possible to see that they were a happy professional in a very happy team. So that's very healthy environment wherever you are, and it sets such a good example that a lot of people look up to you, that I wish I was working with so and so person. And these kind of feedbacks, when people call you back, and even the people with whom I was hard, they turned around. Later on, some years back, I met someone and he said, I would like to work with you, and I was very shocked. I said, I used to beat him up, and now he's calling me. So there's another guy who said, sir, you are like a guru, and this guy used to humiliate him, beat him up so badly, and then he turned around and he realized. So a lot of people change, transform. So I feel good, because if you can make difference in somebody's life, because you as a manager, as a leader, people look up to you, and if you can't do something positive in their life, if you can't groom them, if you cannot give them direction, and if you can't make them happy, how can you be happy? So in my entire career, I worked like this, and I feel I derived so much happiness, so much inner happiness from this, that I cannot tell you, and I have no regrets in all my jobs. And I'm very happy that people really respect me. Even after I left those companies, I'm still in touch with a lot of people. It's been 10 years, 15 years, but I'm still in touch. In fact, a long time back, a few years back, I met somebody when I was in the Navy, and there was a naval officer whom I met in the club in Bombay, in US club, and he was my student, I was instructor. And then there's somebody else, also similar thing happened. He I met him after I don't know how many years, 20 years. This was 2016, and I must have taught them in 94. So you can imagine so many years, more than 20 years before I taught them, and he remembered. He said, the whole course will like to meet you, and we'll invite you. So like after so many years, I had already left Navy. I was working in the private. They wanted to meet me, so I was quite touched. So these kind of things happen, and that bonding is their permanent bonding is formed, and people keep in touch. I get a lot of interesting feedbacks, which surprises me. Somebody says, I always remember your management style, and I have used that now. Now he's a director in one big IT company. So a lot of my team members have now become very senior. He says, I use your management style, and things get done. I don't have to do anything. So I feel good with all these kind of feedbacks. So many feedbacks come. There's another guy who's my peer in the Navy, and we got together in GEO, and he told me that you are the best instructor in the Naval Engineering College. I don't know whether he was trying to please me, and I'm talking about 92, 93, and he was also there, and there were cadets, naval cadets, who we were teaching in the engineering college. And now it is 2014, somewhere around 14, 15. After so many years, around more than 20, 25 years, somebody comes and tells me that you are the best, you are known as the best instructor. And no one told me this. And he tells me after so many years. So I was a little surprised. So a lot of such good surprises feedbacks come to me from time to time when I meet someone. So you feel good when that your life, whatever you did in life, it inspired your people around you. And in fact, a lot of people tell me, my subordinates, that don't stop doing this. Now what I'm doing now, you inspire a lot. So don't stop doing this. So a lot of people look forward. And so what I'm trying to say, that when you work like this, it gives you a lot of inner happiness, and also it spreads happiness. So I think if you take this in the profession, you will be a happy person in life. It's not about promotions and just salary increment. I never asked for salary increment. I never asked for promotions. But somehow, with changing jobs, my career kept progressing from till wherever it could have gone, and I think I'm pretty satisfied. So I thought I will share this, my personal philosophy and ideology, which may be of help. It may not make you a CEO or some big shot in the organization, though I reached assistant vice president level, but more important is, when you look back, were you really happy or not? I don't know those people who manipulate and are political. Are they really happy from inside? I feel they must be broken from inside, because when you are doing something what is sold is not designed to do, I'm sure so the guilt will eat you up. So it's up to you what you want in life. Prioritize accordingly.